Welcome to the Amigas Down Under podcast. I'm your host, Douglas. I'm joined here with my co-host, Adrian and Seb. How are you going, boys?
Yeah, how are we going?
Yeah, doing well.
We're doing good.
Sweet.
Yeah, awesome.
Amigas Down Under podcast on Instagram. Give us a like, listen, and follow. Send us any messages, feedback, anything you want us to touch on the show. Also going to be doing a little bit of a giveaway with a secret code word that we will mention throughout the show. So make sure you listen and
It's just, you don't even know the code.
I don't know. No, I don't.
Make it up
It's
as
going to be on the fly.
It's just
Don't worry.
he's gonna go, oh, yep,
That's the one.
hectic.
Okay.
So make sure you listen all the way through. Code word at the end.
Yeah, awesome.
Or halfway. We don't know. You just got to listen.
As always, we start the show with a little tradition. Cheers.
Cheers, guys.
Yeah,
Cheers. All right.
Cheers, gentlemen and lady.
Yeah, as you said, lady. As we mentioned previous episode, it's the month of May, celebrating Mother's Day, and the best way to celebrate it is having Amigas Down Under
Amigas
series.
Down Under.
And we have a special guest. It's Michelle. Michelle, how are
Welcome.
you?
Hey.
Ooh,
Welcome.
local celeb.
Yeah. But also the inspiration for Amigas Down Under month, because in that little voice recording you sent to us, you said towards the end, you're like, if you ever wanted an Amiga Down Under, I'd love to come on the show, and bang, and that's where it sort of generated. Thank you, Dougie.
That's exactly
From there,
how it
yeah.
generated.
So thank you for the inspiration.
No, I was, I'm glad to be here and super excited to be on Amiga. And yeah, it's my name, Amiga Mia.
Tell us more about that. How did that start?
Yeah, so I originally created an account on social media. And because I wanted to I used to just find content like funny memes and like dancing videos and motivational videos that were like referencing the Latino culture. And then I would find them and I'd laugh at them and then I'd send them to like friends and family and stuff. And then eventually I had to send it to so many people. I was like, you know what, I'm just going to create a Facebook account.
Right.
So I called it Latina Lifestyle. And then after a couple of, I think it was like, I don't know, a year or 2 years, grew so much that, and people kept calling me like, oh, thank you so much, Amiga. Appreciate
there you
it,
go.
Amiga. This is
Yeah.
awesome content, Amiga. You're making my day, Amiga. And I was like, okay, well, I might change my name too, because Latina Lifestyle sounds a bit, I don't know, a bit like doesn't have the oomph to it. You know?
Yeah,
It's like
don't
very-
have the ring. Yeah,
yeah. So
Yeah.
then I changed it. I was like Amiga Mia, and it kind of sat with me. So yeah, that's how it started.
yeah.
Awesome. And what's the goal of Amiga Mia?
What's your why?
My
as
why.
they say? What's your
Hey,
why?
I
Yeah.
love it. That's like a whole Simon Sinek reference.
Yes,
Yeah.
indeed.
So at this point in time, it really evolves. So taking it back to when I changed to Amiga Mia, then sort of around that time, it was the pandemic, and that sort of, I was in Melbourne at the time, so the world's most locked down city. So I was stuck inside, and I sort of thought, okay, well, what can I do with this? I think at the time I had like 20,000 followers on Facebook, and it was just memes, and I want to keep that. That's the whole intention. But then I was like, why don't I start building a community? You know, creating community and also sharing stories of people in our community. So that's kind of what I'm doing now, is just sharing stories, celebrating Latinos of all generations. So you could be first gen, second gen, you could have just arrived, you could be a Latino student. And now I've since sort of like extended on that, and now I create events.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Awesome.
nice.
Yeah.
Oh, awesome.
Now we'll go back to the questions and getting to know you a bit more. Were you born in Australia or were you born overseas?
Yes. So I was born in Australia, and that's where a little fun term comes along called Chozzy.
Chozzy.
Yeah.
Chozzy. Please walk us through that.
Choz. So I was growing up, and my brothers used to always bag me out because I've got brothers that are sort of like 10, 15 years older than me and my sister. And then, because I went through a phase where I was trying to be like J-Lo and wearing the big earrings, and I was like full channeling my Latina, you know. And then eventually they just made fun of me. They're like, you're trying to be J-Lo, but you're a Chozzy, mate. And I'm like, what's a Chozzy? And they're like, it's a Chilean Aussie. And then I was like, okay. And then, you know, when people bag you out in high school and they try and make fun of you, and then you just adopt that name.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's what I've done.
Chozzy.
Yeah,
So I
fair
was
enough.
It's good.
born
That
in
sounds like
Australia.
That sounds like an
looking right at
Aussie
him.
thing as well.
Yeah.
It does.
Right?
Yeah,
It's like Chozzy.
Yeah.
And I'm looking right at our Chozzy friend right here. as well.
Yeah.
Well, finally, I've finally got
Another
someone,
Chozzy.
like, I don't know about you. I'm just going to divert a smidge, but I actually get sometimes when people like especially when I first started, my wife's a Salvadorian. When I first started dating her, or whatever, and she would literally be like, "Oh, yeah, he's Chilean." Oh, really? I get that all the time.
All the time, yeah.
Thank you. It's not,
Yeah,
and I'm
no,
just
it
like,
happens.
and then what I normally get is, for me anyway, I usually get, "Oh, you're not the typical Chilean though." I'm like, "What is a typical Chilean like?" I don't get
Oh,
it.
you are.
See, I don't know, but so you get it too.
All the time, yeah.
I think it's just jealousy if you
That-
ask me. It's just jealousy.
all of-
That's typical right there.
Yeah. Well, you know what? Stuff yous. I'm going to go with it.
Yeah, I don't know. I think it's just a common thing that all Latinos from Mexico all the way down, when you kind of mention, I've seen it. Like it's not saying I've seen it, but you just mention, oh yeah, it's Chilean. Oh.
Oh,
I don't know why.
I think it's in the DNA.
Maybe it is
We're
jealousy.
just-
Maybe it is jealousy. Who
it's
knows?
got to
I
be.
don't know.
It's got to be.
Yeah,
Anyway,
yeah.
I don't know.
I've
I'm
definitely
going.
felt it.
I'm going with that. I'm going with jealousy. So, all right, you've touched on that. Your background is from Chile. So you were born here.
Yeah.
Siblings.
So I've got so parents. So it's not a rewind. Parents arrived from Chile or immigrated 1985,
Mhm.
like around the whole time that all the Chileans came,
Yep.
Yep.
and then my brothers came as well. So they're both like Chilean,
Mhm.
and then me and my sister were born in I was born in 1990, my sister in 91. So yeah, that's got two older brothers, one younger sister. So it's kind of funny because it's like two separate families. You've got like the Chilenos.
Oh,
I don't
okay,
say
yeah,
Chilean, I say Chileno.
Chileno. Yeah.
And then you've
Chileno.
got, yeah, Chileno.
Chileno. Yeah.
And then
Colo Colo, La U.
Yeah.
The soccer teams.
yeah. I only drink pisco sour.
Pisco.
That's
Oh
it.
my God, they're that Chilean.
Yeah.
Oh Jesus.
And then well, one of them's more than the other. The other one's a
Okay.
little bit like it comes out when he drinks.
Oh, he transforms.
He transforms. Yeah.
Optimum
that's
Prime.
Optimum Pride.
That's awesome.
And then my sister's as like Aussie as you just try get a Spanish word out of her, and she's like, hola, como estás?
That's Adrian.
Oh, it's Adrian. Yeah.
Thank you. Thanks. Have
And
you ever been back to Chile?
Never.
Never?
We've never gone.
Been
I've
to,
never gone, sorry, not back. Have you ever gone?
No, I hope to go this year. I've been to Argentina for 3 months, but no, I've never been to Chile. And I sort of regret because I remember I was in Argentina, I was in Buenos Aires, and I was there for like months. And then I don't know why at the time, I was like 18, and I just didn't like book a ticket and cross the border.
Yeah, it's so close. You're so close.
So close.
It's like a couple of hours, is
Yeah.
it?
Yeah.
From
Yeah.
there to Santiago, the airport. It's not far at
Exactly.
all.
You don't have that thought, or you had that thought, you just...
I don't think I had the thought because at the
Okay.
time I was just so like consumed with who I
Who
was
you-
with and what I was doing.
right.
And when I kind of got back, I was just like, oh, like that Homer Simpson moment was like, damn.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How was Argentina anyway? Like as a country, what did you experience there?
I loved it. I loved it. It really, I think I loved it more so because it was just the first true experience I had of like South America.
Yeah.
Like what I did notice though was so much of the Italian,
Influence.
influence and the way that they speak, che boludo, and they use that Italian hand,
Yeah.
and a lot of the signage was in Italian, and that's when I realized
wow.
like, oh wow, there's like heavy European influence here,
Mm.
and it was just interesting, and that's sort of when I learned more about like the Argentinians and how. Because I used to think being in Australia, like Latinos were all the same, like we all have the same experience, we all talk the same. And then when I went to Argentina, I'm like, you don't speak like my Chilean family. You speak
Okay, yeah.
different. Yeah.
Yeah, the accents and everything. Did you
Yeah.
try asado over there? Can I ask?
I did, yeah. So I stayed with I have family there, and some family moved from Chile, to Santiago to Buenos Aires, and then they created this asado, and it was in the ground, and the other one was in this big. And they had like the parrilla, and
Oh, man.
all the meat, and I was like, wow, this like kills Aussie barbecues,
Yeah.
Like,
It does. Well,
does.
yeah, it does.
Yeah,
I
100%.
feel like it does.
Yeah.
It's very different. You touched on how Argentina was a little bit influenced by Italians and that. Seb and Michelle.
Mm.
Is there something similar with Chile? Do they have any influence from like Europeans or anything like that? Or was it more just
Yeah, so I think with my family in particular, we've got a lot of influence from like Spain, of
Okay,
course, and
yeah.
then
Yeah.
Portugal. What I learned is like recently speaking to people, because now I've had the opportunity with Amiga Mia to speak a lot of people from different countries and specifically Chile, and they're saying like it's really just most South Americans are a mix, and obviously it changes by country, but there's that term called mestiza. where it's like you're a blend between European and indigenous. And I think certain countries have different like concentrations. So like, for example, Argentina has more Italian influence, whereby maybe Chile has more Spain. And that's really just my understanding of what I know with the information that I have. But
yeah, I knew Argentina and I think Uruguay probably be the same like that. I know they had like a Germans coming during the war and all that.
I've heard that as well.
Yep.
Obviously I've never been to Argentina, so yeah, they had that Italian influence on there. That's pretty cool. That's really interesting.
And I know that Chile also, and because I have a lot in my family, they have a big Palestinian community.
Oh,
okay.
Yeah,
Oh, wow.
yeah.
Okay. Yeah,
So I
didn't
found
know
that
at all.
because I have one of my uncles, he's Palestinian. So he married my auntie, and then he sort of like educated my family on that whole, like how they migrated to Chile, and they've got a really big community there, and that's stuff like you just don't realize in Australia. You're just like, what? You just think everyone's just like, I know this is going to sound really ignorant, but everyone's just like a Chileno.
No, I know exactly what you mean, and I've been back twice, and the second time I went back, right, we saw a Chinese restaurant, like Chinese food, and that blew my mind to an extent, like that they had a Chinese restaurant, and I was like, oh, so we went in there. We went in there to see what type of food because we're like, hey, let's go eat Chinese food, and then like 3 Asian people came out, and I'm like, I went to go speak English. I literally went to go say hello because I was just used to it.
Yeah.
And they started speaking Spanish with an Asian accent. And I was like, mind blown.
Yeah.
I couldn't believe it. I'm like, they're literally speaking Spanish with an Asian accent. It just blew my mind to see that and to hear that and experience it. It was crazy. It was just, I don't know. It just sounds so silly. But when, when you're in the situation, you're like, what?
I'd had the same experience. Exactly the same thing. Went to a restaurant in El Salvador and we got, greeted by the waiter.
Yeah.
And but no, this guy didn't have an accent. He spoke fluent Spanish.
Yeah, no.
And I was mind blown. I was just like, this guy speaks so much better than I do.
Yeah.
So much better than I do. But yeah, I was just, mind blown. Didn't expect it. But it's naturally, of course they're going to, if they've grown up there or they've lived there, they're going to speak just like,
To hear him speak Spanish, it was just did my head. I was like, what is going on? And me and my older brother looked at each other like, what the hell? Like, this is crazy.
Yeah.
I don't know why it just spun me out so much, but it did. Yeah.
There's learning through Amiga Mia. There's a really like growing Asian Latino community.
Okay.
And they're starting to create content, and like they're starting to really create a voice for themselves, which is for me, it's like really interesting to see because it's like it's not anything that I've really come across before. Yeah, it's interesting.
What do you mean by Asian Latinos? They're mixed parents?
Well, both. So some of them are like, so I come across a guy the other day that I met, and his dad was Colombian and mum was, I think, Korean. And so, but he was born and raised in Colombia. So like they say, he labels himself as a Colombian, but with Asian heritage.
Oh, yeah, cool.
And he was explaining to me that there's just a growing community, in particular in like certain countries. And then there's also those who just sort of like migrate there for whatever reason. And then they just sort of establish themselves there, and then they grow up, and they also call themselves Latino. Like, I'm an Asian Latino. That's what they say.
Yeah.
Oh, good on them.
Good.
Well,
Pretty cool.
I'm an Aussie through and through. I love it, but I embrace my heritage. I do, and I'm proud of it. But I think that's brilliant. I actually think that's something that needs to be more embraced, and there's nothing wrong with it. I guess I grew up in an era too where there was a lot of racism.
Yes.
Got called wog, dirty wog, go back to where you came from, and so much bad stuff, fights and the whole lot. And it almost made me ashamed for a little while. And then, when I see that stuff now, I'm like, yeah, hell yeah. And even with my kids, they're Aussies, but I've said to my missus literally the other day, I was like, I don't want them to be ashamed of who they are. I want them to embrace the fact that they're Australian, but they're from Chile and they're from El Salvador, and they bring all that together. And that's what I think we should be doing. And that's what this podcast, and especially what you're doing, is about. And we're just sort of trying to
preach.
Trying to get out there with you as well. Everyone work together.
Yeah. So any heritage, really, to be honest, to embrace all your heritage. Like you're saying, your friend is Korean, Colombian.
First and foremost is Australia. That's the big thing. Is first and foremost is Australia, and then everything else flows with that.
Yeah. We've grown up here. This is pretty much all I know. When I went to El Salvador,
100%.
I became Australian pretty quickly.
Yeah.
because it's so different. Like, there's all those luxuries that I have here. I think we've mentioned it a couple of times that I've become to appreciate all the things that I've got here that my family in El Salvador doesn't have. You know what I mean? Just having a hot shower, to be honest.
A hot shower. Like,
Yeah.
people don't even go to that extent.
You know, but I was there.
Yeah.
I was complaining. I'm like, oh my God, man, why am I here? Like, I just want to have a hot shower. I don't want to be having a shower and cold.
Yeah.
But I just changed like that. I'm just so used to my comforts.
Yeah.
When you went back, when you went to Argentina, did you record much?
No, I took lots of photos. I didn't
Okay.
record.
If and when you go to Chile, right? I want you to record yourself. I thought I spoke Spanish really well. I thought I spoke Chilean really well. I was like, I'm Chilean, I speak Spanish. And then I heard myself when we came back and we were watching videos, you hear the people speaking Spanish and then you just hear your gringo self. Hola. I'm telling you, you will look at that and you'll go, oh my God, I'm a gringa. I'm telling you, it's going to happen.
Well, what happened was when I went to Argentina, I remember. I stayed with a family, and they were like in the pueblos, it was really like just a not well off area. So I had like firsthand experience of like that side of things, like sort of similar to that story you were saying about not having a hot shower. Like it was a very, but it also humbled me a lot as well. And they were staying with a family. They had a lot of young kids. And then when I would speak Spanish, the little girl used to laugh at me and go, tiene un acento súper raro. And I was like, I would just like try and hold in my tears. Like I was trying really hard. And then she would just, like, and she's like, like 6 years old, like, trying to tear me down.
Teach us some respect.
So imagine me, man. I'll get in trouble.
Yeah.
I'll have no idea. I'll just like,
Like a mute.
They might think, you're a mute. They'll leave you alone.
Yeah.
oh,
They'll leave you
man.
alone. Yeah.
All right. So if we go back to a young Michelle growing up in Australia, how was your schooling in Australia?
Schooling was interesting because I was, I went to a public school and I had two best friends. One was a Philo and the other one was Pakistani. And we were a cute little group of three ethnic amigas.
The only ethnics?
We were one of very many.
Okay. Yeah.
And our extended group, so if we kind of branch out a little bit, we would have another Pakistan girl, an Indian girl, a Yugoslavian, that's what she called herself, and a Russian, that's right. And we would just all hang out, we would just, with our weird, like parents not letting us go to excursions, we bonded over that.
Oh, man. And
Yeah.
sleepovers? Can't
No
go to sleepovers?
sleepovers.
Yeah, I didn't sleep
What
over.
is that about Latins, eh? No, you can't go to sleepover. No, what are you talking about?
I think I continue that because my kids really never slept over anyway.
Yeah.
As well.
Well,
It was like,
I
I don't know who
want
they
my
are.
kids
Who are
to
these
go to
parents?
sleepovers so we can go out. They don't want to. Oh, we want to stay with you.
Yeah, but was it only with family that you never slept? Or you slept over with like friends and like kids that they met at school?
Sorry,
Your
my
your
kids.
kids.
It's
Okay,
family.
yeah. So
It's
that's what I
family.
mean. It's just family, So same
Yeah,
with me.
we
like,
don't.
as soon as, like, we had that thing. It was like, oh, who's this parent? Who's
those
this
are
kid?
my
Do I
parents,
know
man.
Yeah.
I think I was telling you.
Yeah.
Oh, can I sleep at my mate's house? No, but
No.
they can stay here.
Yeah. Oh,
But
yeah.
you're not going anywhere.
Everyone was allowed to stay at mine, but it took a couple of years, and then the only reason was my mum had met all of the mums.
Oh, okay.
So, and my dad would be like, "Have you? You know where they are? You've been inside the house? Yeah, okay, you can stay there." Yeah.
Yeah.
But then,
It's a whole interview process.
flip side, it's like, where are you staying? Oh, Seb's house. Oh, okay. Like the Aussie mate.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, all right, yeah, fair enough.
Well, we used to bond over, and like we used to just talk. Like I think we bonded over that like ethnic experience, and then eventually when I went to high school, I had a similar experience. I had my group, and they were like Persians, like Middle Eastern. Like I've always been around Philos, man. I like Philos; they're fun.
Philos
Yeah.
are the best.
And you can kind of relate a little bit, right?
They
They've got
got-
this
Yeah.
very
Always
similar things too.
Philos always have the best humor, I find.
Yeah.
Yes.
Like they just know how to crack jokes.
They're the best.
Yeah.
And
They're just beautiful people.
They're
too.
very
They're so
beautiful
giving,
people.
man.
Yeah.
And they, like, you name me a dull moment we've ever had with our Filipino, what do we call them? Token Philos. To our group. Shout out. Love you guys. But
Yeah.
honestly, it's never a dull moment when they're
No.
around, man.
No.
It's crazy. Yeah.
Yeah. So I've always sort of had like growing up in school, like that kind of group. And I was always the token Latina, like every time.
Yeah.
I was,
Oh, wow.
yeah.
So did you have many Latino friends? Or was there many Latinos, or were you the only one at school?
No, so I went to an area where I was in like northwest in Sydney, where there's like no Latinos. So I was born in Liverpool, in the west, and then my family migrated over. So I migrated like I'm going overseas.
Yeah. A couple of Ks. So I went to Liverpool West. Across like Hume Highway.
They moved to northwest, and yeah, that's when it was like predominantly Caucasian high school.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I was just like a sea of like Anglo Aussies, and then there was just me and my Persian Filipino friends. Yeah, but I did have lots of like Latino friends, but they were like, you know, growing up, like you have like family friends.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, it was that they would like we would see each other at church and go to weird church parties and hang out. And do that
That was mine. Church and soccer.
yes,
Yeah.
soccer.
How I knew your cousins, Dougie,
Yeah. Right.
through soccer, and then the church family friends. And then now we're mates now.
And Doug, Juanito brought this up. La cancha, the fields.
Yeah,
the-
there you go.
Yeah.
yeah.
Hepersham.
Right, yeah. So you had one, and it brought the community together. And it's actually, he brought it up. I was re-listening to that episode.
Yeah.
He brought it up. It has been lost.
Yeah.
And touching on that, you saying that community, what brought you together, you still got mates to this day. You're what, mid to late 20s? So we're talking 20 years of friendship, roughly? 15 to 20 years of friendship?
Or at least of knowing each other.
Of knowing
Yeah,
each
yeah,
other
yeah.
and then building that friendship
Yeah.
from church and or the soccer field.
Yeah.
And that's been lost in
Yeah,
the
it
Latin
has.
community.
Yeah. Well, you can't comment about any other community, but that's the only.
It's been lost.
It feels like it has been because
Yeah.
I do remember, you know, when we were teenagers, and later night, Marconi was a big thing. Uruguayan club was a big
Oh, I've
thing.
heard a lot
Always
about
heard
lot of
Marconi, yeah.
Marconi
Yeah.
that night.
Yeah.
I heard about it, all my brothers and his mates and all that. Like you, Doug,
It
you
was
probably
the
would have
place
gone.
to be.
And then,
Yeah.
But that was busy every weekend.
Yeah.
Uruguayan club was busy every
Uruguayan
weekend.
club, yeah.
There was always something
Man,
on.
Cordeloa even over at
Oh, yeah.
Fairfield,
Yeah.
that was packed. See,
Yeah.
you'd have all different types of walks of life going there.
Definitely, but nowadays,
Yeah.
no. I live near Uruguayan club, and yeah, it gets
It's
busy,
not too
but
bad,
it's,
yeah. A lot of the oldies, man. Before you'd go there and there was all different age groups.
Yeah.
Now it's mostly the oldies that are, and
They're
it's
trying to keep it alive.
I was gonna say it's a shame because it might die, man. Because it, like my parents,
once
my parents still go.
generations go.
They don't go to Cordeloa anymore. I don't even think it's around. To be honest with you, I don't know. But they go to Uruguayan club probably once a fortnight, and yeah, it's all oldies, 50 and 60. Not that that's old, but I'm saying to keep it going, you need 20, 30-year-olds going there and building that tradition like they built with us,
Yeah,
which is it's dying off.
Yeah.
It is.
I went to go support a really cool band. They're called Sonido. I don't know if you've heard of them.
No,
They
haven't.
play like the Andean
oh yeah,
zampoña.
panpipes and stuff.
Yeah,
Oh,
and
man.
like it's sick. Like when you listen to it, you like I just feel like at home. I don't know.
Yeah.
It's like a calling.
I love Sampoñas, man. Yeah.
And then it was at the Uruguayan club, and then I went by myself, just recording content, and then I went to the back of the hall, and then I kid you not, like the average age was like 70, you know.
Yeah.
And then I sat down and I was like, you know, all dressed up, and then all the ladies were looking at me like I was fresh meat.
Yeah.
Oh, what are you?
Like prison.
Yeah. And they were just like stiffed over, and they were all treating me like I was their like their granddaughter.
Yeah.
¿Quieres una empanada?
Yeah.
That's cute. That's
¿Tienes
cute.
sed?
though.
¿Quieres una
Yeah.
empanada? Yo te puedo comprar algo si quieres.
I would have been like, okay. Just keep putting it in your bag. Take it home. Thank you. Gracias.
This is the first time we're having a couple of Chileans on here.
Oh, we got to explain what
To the,
empanadas are.
to the listeners out there, what is empanada?
Hang on. Empanadas.
Empanadas. What is it? So okay, Michelle, we'll get you this one.
I hope I do the Chileans justice. So it's like a pastry, right? It's a pastry that inside has like meat and like onion and an egg.
Yeah,
and olive.
it's minced meat
Yeah.
that's been marinated, cooked and whatnot, and mixed with spices. Not spices as in spicy, but flavoring.
Yeah.
Finely chopped up onion, a little bit of garlic. And for some reason, I still want to know why. In every empanada, there's one
Random
olive,
olive. Yeah.
one black olive,
Yeah.
and half to a full boiled egg.
Yeah,
Not
yeah.
even half a boiled egg.
Yeah.
That's so half a boiled egg that's cut into half again, so a quarter, and it's put on each side Yeah,
And
I don't know.
That egg is awesome, but I love that egg.
Yeah, it is.
right.
Yeah, it adds to it. Like the olive's also like a Kinder Surprise. Like
Yeah.
you just don't know when you're going to bite it.
You know what I hate about that? What I love now, he doesn't like olive. He
I don't like olives either.
There
I'll
you
take
go.
it out.
Actually, I've seen him. His missus diverting slightly. Adrian's missus once bet him at my place. Remember, she bet you
$100.
$100 to eat, and she
Five
goes,
olives.
5 olives. He put one, and he's like, "Bleh." He was
But
gone.
then I ate the 4 in a row and I got the $100. I got it. She paid up.
He still got it. But now, this is even technology. Pitted olives. You don't get the.
Oh, the stone.
So, I remember if you weren't paying attention, kunk,
Yeah.
you'd bite into that. Now they're all. Well, I haven't
Most
had them
of them,
bundle for
yeah.
years.
Yeah. Right.
That doesn't have that's had the seed removed.
See, that's similar
olive.
to us. Like you were saying before, why all of a sudden there's a little olive in there.
Yeah.
That's the same with tamales. A tamal, a Salvadorian tamal,
Yeah.
there's an olive in there.
Yeah.
Why?
Why? Who
I don't
knows?
know. It doesn't need to be in there.
No, it doesn't.
I don't think it needs to be in there, but it's in there. And I really don't like that section.
Yeah, neither do I.
I cut
I
that
look,
section
I look out for it. I'm like,
Yeah.
I can see that green bulge in my thumb.
You're like, nah, cut around that. Yeah.
That's it. Take it out.
Yeah.
But see, I'll say it. Ossified. Pastel de chocolate. Pastel de chocolate.
Which is what? What is that? Chocolate cake.
Corn cake.
Corn cake.
Cornbread.
But it's not a cake. That's the thing. How would you describe it, Michelle?
I haven't had it in so long. You know why though? This is an not an interesting story.
Oh, go. It's interesting.
I just never since the day I was like could eat anything. My mum gave me chocolate and like corn, and I threw it up. And ever since that
okay.
point, I've
Okay.
never eaten it ever again.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
So, all right. Pastel de chocolate is basically you make them in these little clay, or the traditional ways you make them in these little clay pots, and at the top it's like a sweet corn,
Yeah.
mashed up and whatever, and it's cooked and all that, and then look, she's getting filling
No.
too.
Yeah, like it's an actual hate of food.
Yeah.
Those.
Underneath that, it's the mince again, and in that mince there's just strips of chicken randomly placed through,
Right.
and of course an olive.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and you can actually put sugar or salt, depending on what your
Oh, okay.
taste
That's
buds
weird.
are, on top
I
of it.
literally can't picture, so I'm going to have to
Alright,
Google that later on. But
Let's
yeah.
move on though, because her face.
That's that just reminds me of, a cheeseburger. Just a random pickle just to make it a burger.
Hey,
A cheeseburger.
I love
That's
pickles.
what Macca's do.
No, I don't like
Yeah,
pickles
that's
either.
true.
Love pickles.
So pickles
Get
and
rid of
olives
them.
must be the same. Oh, I like pickles. That's fine.
No,
Pickles are the best.
can't do it.
This reminds me of the Little Rascals.
Oh,
pickle.
I got a pickle.
I got a pickle.
I got a pickle.
All right. Talking about little. So, do you have any memories that stand out for you in Australia when you were growing up? Maybe like, oh, that's weird. You go to an Aussie friend's house, or that you found that it's very different to
Yeah,
your
that culture
culture.
shock,
That
yeah.
culture shock that's there as you're growing up.
It was interesting because I didn't have any Aussie friends growing up. I don't know. I didn't like I wanted to click with them, but I didn't. It was weird. Now I have plenty. Like now I don't know. Like I think we understand each other. We have mutual understanding. But I think my fondest memories probably be where my brothers helped us raise us, and they were, because there was such a big age gap, they used to do like these skits of my parents. So they would sit, me and my sister, so I'm talking they were like 15, 16, and then me and my sister were like 8, 9, and we would sit on the sofa because my mum would still be working, they'd be babysitting us, and like every day after school we would sit down and they would be like dressing up like my mum and dad and doing the skits of them in their,
Oh wow,
in their accents.
yeah, cool.
They'll be
Yeah.
mad.
That's bad.
Like my oldest brother, like Ricardo, used to always bag out my mum because when she would answer the phone back in the day, when you have the phone,
The
like,
white,
and
the
like-
white.
the wire, yeah,
yeah, yeah.
and then like my tia would call from Chile and she'd be like, "Oh, la gloria."
Yeah. Oh my god! I just
You know,
my mum's cousin's called Chloe.
yeah. Tanto tiempo que no te veo. Ay, ¿cómo estás? And then they used,
Elongated,
yeah, they
like
used
the
to,
Vietnamese when they talk.
Yeah, but
yeah.
I
And
think
then,
that's a Chilean thing. Right?
Yeah, it is, man.
That's
Yeah.
it, yeah.
Hola, well, ¿cómo estás?
¿Cómo
Yeah.
estás? Oh, mi niña. And then like they just you sit there and we just have to like, I don't know, like watch them Like it was, and it was cool because like we got to like obviously bond because like we're such a big age gap, and
That's awesome.
yeah, and then just like I don't know, not so much a culture shock, but like I sort of what we spoke about before, but like the family friend parties and the church parties and stuff. Like I remember, like you have one experience at school where you have like I don't know more of a Western Anglo experience, and then on your weekends you like my mom would have I don't know like these parties and they'll pump in like Marco Solis and you're just hanging out as a kid and you're hanging out with family friends, and I still love those moments. They're like some of my fondest memories.
So branching off memories, what is your favourite thing about Australia? Or
Oh
the main thing you like, or best memory you have?
yeah. I feel like I love Australia. Like I can really say that, and I probably just love how it's so fruitful. Like there's just so much. Like when I think that's the beautiful thing of coming from like an ethnic family or being a daughter of immigrants or an immigrant yourself. You can just see like the differences between what you could be, the situation you could be versus the situation you are in now.
Yeah.
So I'm just like, shit, like in Australia, like I want to do the best that I can, but also you can have a very comfortable life, but not work to death.
Yeah.
Like not
True.
work your ass off. And I think that's the beauty of it. Yeah.
Yeah, awesome. What about let's say food wise? So you grew up Chilean, you got your Chilean food, now you got the Aussie food. What is any Aussie food that you just maybe that's your staple? Do you like Vegemite?
Yeah, I like Vegemite. I'm a big fan.
Oh man,
Yeah, I can't do it, man.
Yeah, with some butter on toast, you can't go wrong.
You put avocado on it yet?
Oh no, my brother does that. Ugh.
Oh,
Because I don't know about you, but like Chileans, like palta, my family is like with avocados. Like
Thank you.
It's like God.
Hang on. What is it called?
Palta.
Yeah.
Oh.
What do you guys call it?
avocado?
No, in Spanish.
Like-
Aguacate.
Aguacate,
Aguacate,
yeah.
yeah.
what in the world, man?
Yeah. No, look,
You know
What
that?
is this strange? What is this
Yeah.
dialect over
This is
here?
first time you're hearing it?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh, really?
I'm not gonna lie. I'm gonna go with you guys on this. Aguacate, just for when you're speaking of it English wise, yeah, it makes more sense.
It sounds
It
better.
does.
Avocado, aguacate, palta.
Palta.
It's like when you're
Nah,
saying
but
like.
it's a staple, man.
It's a staple.
It is
yeah.
a staple.
So let me go back to that.
Hmm.
So when we had the discussion before, right?
Just spun out about it.
Ready? That they were talking about was chocolate.
Yeah.
Chocolate, yeah.
Do you know what chocolate is?
No.
So you had no idea what they were talking about that whole
No,
time.
he's describing it, the corn thing.
Oh,
right?
okay,
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
corn.
Alright.
Chocolate is corn.
Yeah,
Chocolate is
whatever.
corn.
And
Yeah.
we say elote.
Oh,
Oh my god, I never realized
Okay.
that until
Yeah.
now.
You say elote,
We
yeah.
say elote.
Yeah.
No way.
It's
Yeah, and
completely-
you guys say
chilies-
banana for a banana.
No, I can't.
Yeah.
think of it.
Guineo.
Guineo.
There
yeah.
you go.
Guineo.
And we say plátano
Yeah.
for a banana.
Oh, see, so many differences.
There you go. Yeah.
It's interesting too because when I speak on Amiga Mia and if I speak like Spanish or Spanglish, I'll be like, oh, and today I had some palta and chocolate.
Yeah.
And now I realize like shit.
Yeah.
Only Chileans would understand.
Chileans and people who know Chileans.
And people who know
Yeah.
Chileans, yeah.
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 It sounds like what was the other Chilean? Chalas.
Chalas, yes.
You say like chalas.
Yeah, Charles. What
That's-
do you guys say again? Chanclas.
Chancletas.
Chanclas.
Oh, yeah.
Or chancletas.
Chanclas and chancletas.
Yeah, we say chalas.
And you
Yeah.
say ají, right?
Mm.
And we say chile.
What?
Chili. They say ají
Ají.
for chili.
Nope. No idea. I've never heard that before.
And I
Yeah.
think also
Just stay over
Chileans
there.
say like plata for like money.
Money, yeah. And you
Plata.
guys say
Oh, no,
dinero.
Dinero, yeah.
Dinero.
No, I've
Yeah.
heard that too.
Yeah, plata.
Yeah,
dinero.
but plata, yeah.
Ice cream. What do you say for ice cream? Sorbete.
Sorbete.
Yeah.
What do we say?
Helado.
There you go, helado.
So
Yeah.
cold.
Cold.
You want
yeah.
some cold?
You want some cold? Or ice cream.
But sorbete sounds like you're just trying to speak like
Sorbet.
Spanish. Sorbet. Yeah, like trying to say
like-
sorbet.
you're trying to
in
say
a fancy
sorbet
way.
in like a Spanish kind of fancy way. Yeah.
And what do you say, Michelle, for plates in Spanish?
Platos?
Platos.
Yeah.
What do you guys say?
Same.
Yeah,
Nah.
platos. I say
Yeah.
platos.
Lavar los platos. What do you say?
That.
Lavar los trastos. Voy a lavar los trastos.
no,
I'm
no,
like, when
no.
you first said that, I'm like, what's that? What's a trasto?
You know, trastes.
Or something like that. I don't know. Yeah, my mother-in-law says
It's
it
not
all
what
the
I
time.
know.
Well, the other one is like, how do you guys say like boyfriend or girlfriend?
Oh, yeah,
No,
yeah.
I know
yeah.
what the Chileans say.
Yeah.
But novio y novia.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, pololo and polola, right?
Yeah.
What
Yeah.
the hell?
So you guys say novio, novia.
Yeah.
But Chileans, Michelle, what's that mean in Chilean?
Novia, novio. I was
Yeah.
always told that's more like a formal way, like more of a partner.
Engaged.
Engaged.
Engaged. So tan de,
Oh, well, with Salva, as soon
están
as
de
you're,
novio.
as soon as you're
Yeah.
dating, you're
They're
married.
engaged.
That's it. As soon as you go, you're married.
Yeah. So if Doug had come over and gone, esta es mi novia. Oh, they're engaged. So
Yeah,
that's my
it's
girlfriend.
serious. Yeah,
Yeah, that's just my girlfriend. Oh, well, tu polola.
Yeah.
yeah.
Tam pololeando.
Pololeando. Or you can be like, my mom used to say, like when I was young, I was a Lola, like Lolita.
Oh my God, yes.
Yeah, because I was at the
Oh,
age of
okay.
like pololeando.
Yeah.
Yeah. Pololeando. Yeah.
It's interesting to see how I've noticed it a lot. I think all Central America talk very similar.
Very similar.
I
Yeah,
found
like,
that we all
yeah.
have similar words, but yeah, then South America, when you go through all the different,
it's quite different. Like
different.
the
Different
closest
Spanish.
two would be Uruguayans and Argentinians.
It's very similar.
Yeah.
Similar, but everything else has just got its own flair to it.
Alrighty. So, touching on Mother's Day again, since we're focusing on it this month, what does Mother's Day mean to you?
It's so important because my mum was a single mum. Well, she was for the longest time growing up. So my parents got divorced when I was like 12, and then she raised like us 4 kids and worked full time and did the whole hustle. So I use this time as an opportunity to really give back and just make sure that she knows that she feels recognized and welcomed and loved. Yeah. I'm not a mother myself, but also for any mothers out there, like just make sure that they like, it's just a huge job, and yeah, it's so important in so many different levels. So I love it. Beautiful day of appreciation.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
awesome.
Nice.
That's cool.
I love that. That's good. Thanks for sharing that with us.
Yeah. Is there anything that your mum does that has been implanted in you and you carry on now to do in your life?
Yeah, she's the one who, like, first of all, is the one who's like F like what everyone's saying, just keep close contact with your heritage and in the way that makes sense to you. So she never said like you have to go and be like this super Latina out there, like even though that's kind of what I am now. But she's like, whatever it means to you, but just don't lose it. And then the second thing she always instilled in me was like, just, you have to use what you have and use the position that you're in to help others. It's super important. So that's been really ingrained in me, and that's what I want to do with Amiga Mia, is just make sure, like, she keeps me in check. Like my mom has a TikTok account. I don't know how she got it. Like one day she called me, and I'll say it in Spanish because this is how she said it to me. She's like, "Ay, Michelle, tengo esa cosa, ¿cómo se llama? El tiki tik." And I was like, what? It's like driving to work. I'm like, sorry, what? I had to like put them like when you stop driving, even though it's like it's just audio.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I was like, sorry, what did you say, bro? She was like, oh, tengo esa cosa, ¿cómo se llama? El tiki tik. And I was like, I think do you mean TikTok? And she's like, I see, yeah, it's TikTok. And then she's like, found out she has like full on account, and she follows, like, she was telling me like stories about these cat videos and all this sort of stuff. And then I was like, oh, Mum, I've got an account, you can follow me. And then she was like, oh, okay. And then I, like, next time I saw her, I like followed, and then she started scrolling through them, and she was like judging me. She's like, no, Michelle, no puede decir eso, no. And I'm like, what do you mean? And she's like, always telling me, like, you got to represent yourself and whatever you're trying to represent in a really positive light. She tries to get me to back away from talking about, like, the negative things.
Yeah.
And, like, I'm in two minds about it, because sometimes I'm like, you got to talk through the negative, because if no one talks about it, then,
Yeah.
It's not all sunshines and rainbows.
Not all sunshines and rainbows. Yeah. So I challenge her a little bit on that sometimes, but for the most part, that's what she taught me a lot, is like, she keeps me honest and on check in my social medias, on my TikTok.
Tiki.
Tiki, yeah.
And did your mum, when it was cleanup time at home, was there louder music playing in the background?
Always.
And now,
What is that about?
and now, do you continue that?
Oh, always.
Always.
Yeah.
Always.
What
Has
is
to
that?
be.
Yeah. So
What is that? You posted the other day.
I didn't post anything. I
Oh,
shared
yeah.
it within
our party
our,
fam, yeah.
our chat.
Yeah.
But yeah, I came home. As soon as I walked in, I think I went to the gym and I came home. It was early in the morning. And I just said, there's ladder music. What's going on? I think it was Mark Anthony.
It was a Mark Anthony song. It was, yeah.
It was Mark
Yeah.
Anthony. I was going, I'm like,
Yeah.
oh, here we go. I took my phone out and I started walking. And I'm like, uh-oh. Music's playing. Ladder music. I think it's cleaning time. And then I look around the corner and my wife's there, like, washing the dishes, dancing around.
And then what she said was, like, about 2 seconds after you stopped the video, she, like, stopped washing to, like, dance. And then get back into the washing.
Yeah. Even now, my kids, I don't know if they're going to do it once they moved out, but they know as soon as the Latin music comes on,
Yeah.
it's cleaning time.
Saturday morning, like
Yes.
she would blast the music.
Saturday morning.
Yeah. And she would knock on my door, and that's what I was like, oh, okay.
It's a weekend.
Yeah.
I want to sleep in.
Yeah.
No.
Game over.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
gosh.
but the same day, at what, a minute before you posted that,
Yeah.
my wife grabbed a speaker, put it on, and put the Latin music on. And I was just standing there looking, and I saw your video come up, watched it. I'm like, what the hell? Literally just happened at ours as well.
Yeah. Oh, it's good. Okay, so what do you normally do, Muzzy? You all go to your mum's house for Mother's Day?
Yeah. So we usually go see mum and just, yes, have like a really good, I don't know, mum does the thing we spoke about. She goes to La Paula's.
Oh, okay,
Yeah,
yeah.
Yeah, I think it's also a part like, sorry, mum, I don't know if you're ever going to listen to this. I mean, you got TikTok, you might start listening to podcasts. But she's like, oh, voy a ir a La Paula. I'm like, you're not going to cook? So she just gets everything from La Paula. The other one, what's it called? La Selecta? I
La
think?
Selecta, yeah.
Yeah.
Liverpool.
Liverpool.
La
Okay.
Selecta's at Liverpool. But that's more sweets and bread, isn't it?
Yeah, she
Where
gets.
Paula's is a bit of everything.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so her go-to, her main, and is La Paula's, and I say her side piece is
Yeah,
La
side
Selecta.
Oh, brilliant.
And yeah, so she gets everything from there, and then we go hang out, and yeah, it's always a good time. I hang out with my tia as well, my primas. We all just get together and yeah, have a good old time.
Yeah, it's always good, especially when you're having like traditional food, right? We're trying our best to trying to keep that food alive
Yeah.
in my family.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because, once, as time goes past,
Yeah, of course.
old generation goes, we've
Yeah.
got to try and continue those homely feelings of, we have pupusas, trying to keep that tradition. When my wife makes pupusas, I help her out.
Oh, you've done
And
well.
we'll continue
Yeah.
on.
You've done well.
You do some
Yeah.
mean pupusas. Have you had pupusas?
Never.
Oh, man.
You know what?
What?
Fun fact, when I actually lived in Melbourne for 4 years, and I didn't realize how big the community
Yes.
of
Yeah.
people from El Salvador.
Mm,
like,
yeah.
It's
wow,
huge
I
down
met
there, apparently, yeah.
massive community.
Mm.
And so I got to experience like a few like home parties and met some beautiful people, and wow, they're fun. Like,
Yeah.
when you guys drink.
No.
Case in point in front of me over here. Yeah. No, well, when we were in Melbourne, we went down for Formula One. And we actually found a little tienda, like a shop
Yeah.
of
Little
just
corner store
Latin.
full of Latin stuff
yeah,
everywhere.
everything. Yeah,
And like just exclusively Latin stuff.
yeah, just Latin stuff.
Cooking equipment. Food,
Oh, wow.
Staples.
Did
Yeah,
they
everything.
have like the plancha for the pupusas? The
Oh, I
the
didn't
flat.
No,
see.
they had a
Paella.
yeah, the
Oh,
plates.
okay,
the plates,
yeah, yeah.
massive one. Like
Yeah,
I've never
yeah.
seen a plate this big. A deli section
Mm.
with like chorizo and all that stuff. and
Yeah,
then
nice.
The
Empanadas already made as well. You
already
could buy
made,
them.
heated
Oh,
up,
wow.
or
Oh my
like
God, sounds like a
frozen.
dream.
Heaps of stuff.
It had pupusas pre-made, and then this company would
Vacuum
just
seal
vacuum seal it, and then you'd sell it, and you
Oh.
just buy it like a pack of 3.
Nice.
Never seen that before.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So one thing I've noticed is like when you guys made it, like we talked about it when we went away, when they made it when we went away, and my mother-in-law and all that makes it, they're almost like they've gone to the point now, because when I first tried them, they were quite thin, and the fillings wasn't that. Now they're like almost literally like a big pizza pocket where they're about that big, and then the filling is huge.
No, I've never seen them like that, but like the
Oh,
one that we had when we went
man.
away, I've never seen them like that
So
in my
good.
life.
Well,
They
that's
were
how-
so good. They
That's
were
how
that,
my mother-in-law makes them, man. Like that
one?
now.
when we went
Wow.
away, Port
Yeah.
Stevens.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Okay.
like they were fat,
Yeah, man.
thick, man. I'm like,
Yeah.
what the hell are these?
Yeah, and you
But
have
they
like
tasted good.
oh, you have like two and the it's
Yeah.
the best.
Yeah.
Well,
I
there's
need to try this.
Oh,
Oh, yeah.
man. Look, if you like cheese, you like chicharrón or pork and
frijoles.
frijoles. But even if you don't, you can have one or the other or
Yeah.
mix
Or
or
three.
whatever.
Oh,
All
nice.
three.
My
Oh, yeah.
favorite is all three with the salsa and the
curtido.
curtido. Yeah.
What are your salsas?
It's just
Just
a
tomato sauce.
tomato-based salsa.
Yeah,
Homemade
nice.
tomatoes.
Yeah,
Tomato
so-
chili sauce or something.
Yeah. Depends on
Tomato-
how spicy you
Everyone
make
makes a different
it.
name.
Yeah,
Yeah.
everyone makes it different.
My
yeah.
dad's sauce is pretty good, but
Yeah.
he barely makes it.
We'll just go back for a second. So I don't know if you've heard the previous ones where these gentlemen in front of me, born in Australia, went to primary school. Mr. Seb over here.
Mm.
Did you go to ESL classes?
Yes.
what the hell?
But
going
I
on?
think I graduated like I think it was only like year 1 and then year 2.
Oh, all right,
I
sure.
don't know. Yeah.
I was thinking
Like-
to like year 5. Eh?
Yeah, no, yeah, but I definitely did. And I remember my mum trying to explain it to me like it was no big deal, like it was like a special class, you know, you're a
Yeah.
superhero.
Nah. I knew I was fucked. Yeah, I knew it. I hated it, man. I fucking hated it.
I mean, I find it weird. Oh, look, my wife, she did
Yeah,
ESL,
we
but she
touched on
was
that, yeah.
she came here when she was like 4.
Four,
So
yeah.
she was already speaking Spanish and everything. I came here when I was 2, which I was speaking Spanish, but yeah, I didn't do it. So my mum confirmed. She goes, "No, you went to preschool, you learnt your English, and then that's it. You didn't do anything like that."
That's what my mum says.
Yeah.
Because I didn't speak English until I went to preschool.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
apparently I just learnt it there.
Yeah,
Like, learned
man.
everything
Yeah,
Mate,
it's,
in
yeah.
Wayland.
I'm
Yeah.
sorry.
The best place
Oh,
to learn
yeah.
English.
Nice.
Yeah, and it's just I'm just mind blown that the amount of
Mm.
people that were born here
Yeah.
A lot of them, yeah.
and did ESL.
The way my mum explains it was that because I learned English at such a young age and because my parents were so like import, that it confused me a little bit and just my personal learning style.
mhm.
And so like the teachers are like, oh, you know, you're still kind of like switching between the two because
Yeah, that's-
maybe the way that my parents taught me wasn't like, I don't know, the best way or something, but I didn't stay till year 5. Like I just,
All right, Charles.
no, I think it was like year 2 or something. And then
Yeah.
eventually like, yeah, I remember my mom saying that I would like, instead of saying like, I don't know, shoes, I would just be like, we'd be learning something and I'd be yell out, that's zapatos. And then the teacher's like, oh, no, I don't know what that word is, but it's
You
not
swear at me.
shoes.
Hey, it's us, Linus.
Yeah, and so I think my experience was I went to kindergarten AOK, and then I was kind of like demoted to ESL.
Did you learn Spanish first?
Yeah.
Like at home? Yeah.
Yeah.
I think we pretty much all have that in common. We all learn
Yeah.
Spanish first. Some of us just
Yeah.
got the English a little bit quicker. eh?
It's meant to be, man.
Yeah.
Oh, that's funny. All right, so if we go to, we'll give you the 2 choices. We always give these 2 choices to everyone. Meat pie or sausage roll? What is your go-to if we will put that in front of you right now?
I've never, ever, 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 ever gone for the sausage roll.
Good.
Yeah,
Yeah.
That's good.
That's-
That's very, very good.
It just was never appealing. It wasn't a vibe.
ESL, sausage rolls. I'm fine.
Yeah, that was
So
meat pies
far.
the whole way.
Meat pie as
Yeah.
one
Everyone
every
goes to
single
meat
time.
pie,
except
Yeah.
for-
Every
That's it.
time. I'm just going to give up now. I'm still going to sausage roll every time, but meat pies are one.
Mm,
Yeah, meat pies have won. Fair enough.
yeah.
And
meat
your method of eating it? What do we do?
I would just like always take a bite first, and then I would, if I had sauce on it, I would put sauce where the bite was, so it would get the meat.
Yep.
And then drench it that way, and then I would keep eating it that way.
pie. Okay.
Yeah.
That's
Just
a new one.
Just
Yeah.
Bite sauce, bite sauce.
awesome. So I think we'll give
The quiz.
the quiz a go.
Oh.
The good old Dinkum dictionary.
Yeah.
Mhm, okay.
All right. I'm going to flick through. You're going to tell me when to stop.
Mhm.
This time I reckon I'll choose a word like that's
Yeah,
not
I
that
reckon.
hard or
Okay.
one
Yeah.
that might be a bit common. All right, so you ready?
Stop.
All right. Oh, mooch as a verb.
As a verb.
So you mooch.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Is any clues? Blues
He's
clues?
reading it.
No, because
Who's
because
clue?
you know what mooch is, right?
I'm pretty
You
sure.
mooch off someone.
Yeah, you mooch up.
Meaning like
Yeah.
you scab.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you're a scab.
This one says
Ah.
you beg.
Oh.
Beg something.
Oh,
He's
beg,
always
scab.
mooching off.
Yeah.
Yeah, mooching. Yeah, he's always
Yeah,
mooching.
he's
off.
always-
Yeah,
Yeah.
that makes
Yeah.
sense. Now I've heard that before. Stop.
Stop.
Stop. Stop.
Freebie.
Yeah, freebie. Who doesn't love a freebie? Something for free.
Last one.
Stop.
On the fritz.
On the fridge. Jeez.
So you're on the fritz.
Mm.
Or something's on the fritz.
Yeah.
Could be either one, yeah?
Yeah.
On the fritz. Like having a moment, having a spasm.
Yeah,
Yeah.
pretty
Pretty
much, yeah.
Broken down or
Spasm happened,
malfunctioning.
that
Yeah.
wouldn't
Yeah.
Yeah, I would say spasm is a malfunction. Yeah,
It's a
Yeah.
malfunction. Yeah.
Yeah, cool.
Cool.
That's it.
Yes,
Look
that
at
was
you go.
totally
You're
a
Aussie.
start.
Yeah. This is actually a real life scenario that happened to me, right? So you're in the car, Adrian's driving, you're in the front passenger seat. Adrian goes, "Oh, check out old mate. He just had a blowout of his 3-plugger. He'd be spewing." What has Adrian said?
Look at that guy over there. He's upset.
Mm.
He's just something's gone wrong with his car. I don't know what a 3-plugger is.
Ah, that's not
Close.
bad. That's
Yeah,
that's
yeah,
yeah,
you
that's
break it down
about
pretty
well,
well.
I'm gonna go 85% there. High distinction. 3-pluggers a thong.
Ah, there you go.
Do you have you? I don't know if you've seen them at. Well, they used to sell them at Woolies all the time. I don't know if they still have them.
Yeah, pretty sure they do.
The bottom bit just has 3 circle plugs.
Yeah.
Where it's 3-plugger.
Ah,
Yeah.
that makes sense. Yeah, that makes sense. yeah.
Cool.
Nice, you did well.
Thank
Yeah.
you.
Passes an Aussie.
It's
That's
well,
it. 100%.
yeah.
Yeah.
Chozzy.
She even
Chozzy.
said, "Stop."
It's not.
Yeah. Oh, I think that's it. I think that's the end of the episode. I reckon. Was there anything else that I'm missing?
I don't think so. Seb?
Oh, hang on. Favorite Aussie saying.
Oh,
How could we
course.
forget?
Ah,
There we go.
Jeez.
what's this?
We-
Amateurs.
Ah.
Yeah.
Fire out.
Do you have a favorite Aussie
Favourite
saying?
Aussie saying?
Do you know
Oh,
of
gosh.
anything?
I don't know if this is an Aussie thing, but like I've been told that I always say,
You know.
You know?
No.
Yeah. it
you
could
know,
be.
like I'll be like, oh, you know, like, oh, there you go.
You know, like, there you go. I'll be like, you know.
So I don't know if that. Oh my god, I won't be able to stop now.
There you go.
Yeah.
There, you know. Yeah, I'd class that as a.
What? Because it's not. I don't think it's like. I haven't heard it from US people. I don't think because they're like the closest in terms of like where you influence from,
Yeah.
or like Latinos. So
Seb, do you have an Aussie saying?
Good on ya.
Good on ya.
yeah.
Good on ya.
Or even
'Cause-
like abbreviate it further.
Anya.
Oh,
Anya.
Anya.
Yeah.
Ah, there you go.
Yeah,
Yeah. Oh, now you're being real with it.
Anya.
Anya.
Anya, son.
Yeah.
Anya, mate. All right. Okay, cool. Well,
No.
I think that's it.
Give us a like, listen, and follow on our Instagram page, Amigas Down Under Podcast. Also,
Yeah.
have a follow, have a look at Michelle's Instagram page, Amiga Mia.
Yes.
Okay,
Instagram, Facebook.
doing a lot.
Anything else?
A lot.
Tiki
El tiki tiki, el YouTube.
YouTube. YouTube.
Get around it, support her, support the rest of the Latino community. Code word for today. Let's say first person to message us, fuck olives,
Fuck off.
because there's always one olive, and if we don't like it, well, Dougie and I don't like it
What are
anyway.
you looking at me for?
So first person to say or to message us, fuck olives,
Yeah, fair
get a
enough.
calendar.
Yeah.
Olive's
So
like,
you don't have to give away what we're giving away.
No, that's it. That's what
No,
we
it's a
got.
calendar. No,
Maybe a bottle of water or something.
we'll send you an empty can. An empty can
with
of
our
the beer that we
DNA.
drank, yeah.
You want your own Amiga? Clone it from our DNA.
Thank you, Michelle, for being a part
Thank
of
you very much.
Amigos Down
Thank
Under
you.
for our Amiga month.
Thank you,
Yeah,
thank you,
Yeah.
thank
Amiga
you.
Down Under month.
yeah, man. Yeah, good luck with women empowerment.
Women empowerment.
Yes, Latin women empowerment in Brizzy.
Beautiful.
Awesome.
Get around to
Excited.
Brizzos.
Yeah. When's that on?
23rd of April.
There you go.
Well,
Oh,
that-
soon.
No,
Yeah.
Yeah.
won't be when this is.
Yeah. Oh, well,
I hope you all went.
Hope
let
you had a
us-
good time.
Let us know on the Instagram page how good a time it was. I'm sure it was amazing.
Yeah.
Damn it. Timing wise, I forgot about that part.
Yeah. Well, that's what I mean. Get behind it, sponsor us, so we can quit our jobs and do this full time.
Well,
it.
there will be another one in Sydney. So,
Okay.
When's that?
so I'm speaking to some people who do events, and we want it to be the biggest to date. So,
Cool.
Yeah.
Check socials.
Yeah, stay
Yeah.
tuned.
Get around
Stay
it.
tuned. See what happens.
100%.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, thank you again for joining us.
Really appreciate
Thanks
it.
for having me.
No worries. So next week we'll be talking to another one of our Amigas.
Yes.
Amigas month. Awesome. Thanks, guys.
Thank
you, everyone.
Thanks so
Bye.
much.
See ya.
See you later. Bye bye.